Pine Gap, a US-run spy base located in Australia, possibly sitting on top of old world technology. And that's just the beginning. Yorkshire, United Kingdom. We have the Royal Air Force, Menwith Hill, the largest electronic monitoring station in the world, all operated under the Five Eyes, which we all know at this point is a US infiltration and a way around these countries' laws. A so-called agreement that I believe is more just one side, telling the others what's going to happen. This location was constructed in just 3 years, we are told. From 1956 to 1959, a 605-acre site, including 37 giant radar domes. This is in the United Kingdom. It is on British soil, but the United States runs it. So what's going on here? Especially when we all see that it is called the Royal Air Force or the RAF, yet the Royal Air Force doesn't even operate it. The base is ran by the United States National Security Agency, or the NSA. The on-site commanding officer is American. The base is staffed and operated primarily by US military personnel and intelligence contractors. I do believe the USA has a lot more power than we actually understood, and are so much more involved in these old world sites than originally expected. The Five Eyes is a way, in my opinion at this point, for the USA to infiltrate these other 4 countries: Canada, New Zealand, the UK, and Australia. And all of this really makes me want to look into these other so-called agreements or secret intelligence sharing alliances, such as the Nine Eyes or the 14 Eyes. We know about NATO. There's also the Echelon Network, the SOFA agreements, a bilateral or multilateral agreement that defines the legal status of a foreign military force stationed in another country. What does this sound like? It sounds like we have found a pattern here, a massive one. The joint CIA intelligence centers, the fusion centers, and biometric data exchanges, which extends access to millions of foreign citizens, including their DNA, fingerprints, and facial recognition, extending it to this one country. And we were all told that the little season was all just a myth. Once we understand all of this, we will begin to see the board so much clearer. We are going to see who the key players in the game are. Because if you look at it like it's a game, you can find the patterns. You can see the clues. You can begin to decode the whole thing. You remember what you've seen, you watch, and you learn. And then we will see exactly who is hiding the old world from us. Before we go on to these other groups and agreements, we need to first understand the Five Eyes. And we need to take this step by step. And I said this a long time ago. The episodes are in order for a reason. They are a progression. And again, like we've said before, UK officials have tried to go in and see this place. UK members of parliament, multiple, yet they have been denied. And Edward Snowden, he leaked documents revealing that Menwith Hill is a key node in the Five Eyes Alliance, serving as the central data interception and processing facility for global signals intelligence, including phone calls, emails, and internet traffic, and of course, from UK citizens as well. The Five Eyes, very interesting. And what makes this whole thing even more incredible is that this location and Pine Gap, I believe they were both found and are from the old world. When we see that multiple US reports have hinted that Menwith Hill includes subterranean operations, with former intelligence personnel referencing underground components, where this site uses enough electricity to power an entire small city, with high voltage feeds, backup 1.7 megawatt generators, and a 30 megavolt amperes. Let's break this down. Most office buildings require under 1 MVA. Data centers with intensive operations, they might use 5 to 10 MVA. This place has 30 MVA and puts it in the range of a massive tech campus or industrial scale operation, which is far beyond what is needed for just antennas and routine signal monitoring, like we're all told that it is. The 37 radars, they do consume power, but not even close to enough to justify this level of power. Unless, of course, like we all know and we've all said so many times, there is old world technology, something powerful under the ground in this location. Something that would, without a doubt, justify exactly why they're using this much power. And we are just getting started today. Welcome to episode 137 of My Lunch Break. I hope you're all having a great day. And if you're new, welcome. Let's be honest, most coffee gives you a quick hit, then leaves you jittery, foggy, and reaching for another cup before lunch. But what if your coffee actually did something for your health? Rejuvenate Coffee is science-backed coffee. Real Arabica beans, infused with CAAKG, a compound shown to support cellular energy, metabolism, and even healthy aging. It's not a gimmick, it's not trendy. It's built for people who take their health seriously, who want to show up with focus and strength every single day. If you care about how you feel now and how you'll feel 10 years from now, this is your coffee. Go to 1775coffee.com/lunchbreak and get your Rejuvenate coffee today. Fuel your body, protect your future. Rejuvenate. I want to thank all of our sponsors over on Patreon. Thank you to FlatEarthDave.com. You can check out his app, the Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac app. I'll put the link right in the description. And you can use my referral code, MLB. If you click the Tartaria button, you'll see the My Lunch Break playlist right here. The app is awesome. Thank you to Rebecca Kay, David and Sherry Ferguson, Chuck Templeton, Joy Lee, Stephanie Nolan, the Burlesons, Edwin Rice, Charles Kruger, Dan Woodall, Dale, DJ Clicktrack, Jacob Law, Jim Ribley and Christine Duggan, Kyle Glascock, PKTFnews.org, Ben Dries NL, Natalie Shippenoff, Melissa Edgar, Biggles, Clayton Lamar, Double Task Homestead, John Adams, Robert Ozolins, Attila Power, Forbidden Gecko Love, Justin Grobner Grubb, Leah Strong, Dakota Dunn, Jason Hochberg, Marie C., Michael Dingyu, Patriot Armory, Tom O'Hara, C3SCOB, Jeffrey Temple, SonyaDane.com, James Alton, Buxui, Jason Prest, Suki Warrior, We the People, Migs, Mark Chapman, Muji and DeClan, Ariana Oates, Nathan Burbuck, Ski, Beacon of Truth, Liberty's Arborist, Thomas Thorpe Peterson, Zinger Coffee and Tea, EvelynMcGregor.com, Emily Maryland, Curious Cat, Mike D, etc., Dan McGee, Lori Hedvig Johnson, Ellie Annie, Seth Craigo, Glenn Gunderson, Mousie's Mouse Cheese Records, Robert's Brain is Gone, Extreme Reality Check, Late for Dinner, Eolo Goncalves, Blake, William Richard Jeffries V, Dax Bilchek and Son, Dylan Mugenberg, Leonard Insalacro, Robert Petro, Katz Hill, Susie Q, Yark 143, Kitty Kitties, GOL, I'm Patriot, Doc Halo, Kenneth Putt, Brenna Fernandez, Paraduction, Necrodemonics, A&W Kerrigan, Tim Skin, Rod Wah, Sweetest of Peas, Corbin Mechanical, Buck, VKH Bonner, Breaking Bigfoot, Road Warrior, Bruce Latour, Anna Marley and Nunzio, Codrenth, David and Irene, Al Pisano, Ivan Apoctoli, Ardra Rogers, Brazawayan, Armin Walker, Ivan Apoctoli, Kinda Classy, Kinda Chola, Maybell, When He Set a Compass Upon the Face of the Depth, Laurel L. Burnett, Hoppy Johns, Summer Chambers, D. Woods, John and Carlo, Bill, Vince Moreno, Flat Earth Herbs, The Lady Lacey Show, Sven Eric, Aaron Webb, Sean Phillips, Jux, MDF TFV, Annika Joyce, The Arnolds, Henry's Mom, Gabriel Spark, D. Do-A-Lot, Leonardo Lynx, Ernijo, Lucy, Shiba Shaba in the Darkness. You guys are all awesome and helping this channel out a lot. Maryland, USA, Fort Meade, the NSA headquarters. The NSA is the United States' primary agency within the Five Eyes Alliance, meaning that Fort Meade, the NSA headquarters, is a main pillar of the Five Eyes. What are we told that Fort Meade is actually used for? Their official mission And what we are told is that they analyze foreign electronic communications, secure classified U.S. government communications from cyber threats, cybersecurity, cryptography, and code breaking, provides intelligence to the military, identify terrorist networks, and we are told they are sharing with allies. So, why in the world does Fort Meade, why does this location need 60 to 70 megawatts of electricity? This is enough power to power 50,000 homes. The official narrative is completely falling apart all over their publicly documented energy intake. The energy intake, in my opinion, and based on what we know and the facts provided, show that there is something massive going on inside this building, and most likely underneath it, with multiple former NSA employees and contractors, including William Binney and Edward Snowden, have alluded to highly compartmentalized areas and secure vaults, inaccessible even to high clearance personnel. They reference to black rooms and levels, hidden infrastructure, the basic box style on top of the ground. It's not fooling anybody anymore. Something powerful enough to power 50 to 70,000 homes. Nearly 30 NFL stadiums at full capacity. That's 700 high-powered supercomputers, underground cooling and life support systems, or something so much more than what we know. An old world technology that is underneath the ground in this location. Something massive. One thing that's for sure, they are using this power. And what's documented publicly, the 70 megawatts, this may not even be all of it. Let's take a minute and thank all of our badge members, all of our Patreons, and every single subscriber. It is awesome watching this channel grow to brand new people every single day. I love seeing the community grow and knowing that more and more people are becoming interested in looking for the truth. Thank you to everybody who likes the episodes as well. This helps the channel out a lot. We are on YouTube. We're on Rumble, X, Instagram, TikTok, and Spotify, if you're looking for even more content from us. Now, it's very possible that Fort Meade consumes more energy than what is publicly documented, especially considering that in 2016, Baltimore Gas and Electric, or BGE, built a $100 million dedicated substation and transmission line just to serve Fort Meade. All of this for one location and nothing else, which is not normal at all, unless they expect sustained or growing loads well above 70 megawatts of power, where the true consumption could exceed 100 megawatts of power right at this site. Knowing what we know about the Five Eyes, knowing that these specific locations are of importance, could one location be the most important of them all? And something massive is going on inside the walls of this facility that would take reality and rip it right in half. What is consuming over 100 megawatts of power inside this building? It's not a few computers. They're not doing desk work. Something is going on inside, documented evidence of a $100 million transmission line, all for this location. And on top of all of this, according to reports from 2006, the NSA's Fort Meade operations maxed out the Baltimore area power grid, using as much electricity as the entire city of Annapolis, all coming from this one building. What is going on inside of Fort Meade? This is unbelievable. Maxing out the Baltimore area power grid. I want to know. In my opinion, based on everything that we've seen, all of the facts in play, I believe they have found something from the old world that was in this location. They have covered it with a box and gave the location a front story and are charging the old world technology underneath the ground, empowering underground levels, possibly underground cities below that building. I believe people are living underneath there, and I believe this is why a former assistant secretary of housing under President George H.W. Bush let everybody know in May of 2025 that the U.S. government secretly spent $21 trillion, constructing a vast network of underground cities. And do you think this was the only time they've ever done this? I would say no. I would say these are all over the world. I believe that they found these from the old world. I believe they found their work right under our feet and are extending on it. I believe what is on top of the ground is garbage in comparison to what is below it. I believe the true palaces might be underground, where we can't see them. This place that we live is so much more than what we're told. And the further that we go, it proves it more and more. Claiming that there were 170 underground and undersea facilities, exactly like we've talked about. Just like we talked about in Alaska, where it's all linked by hidden transportation systems. Between 1998 and 2015, economist Mark Skidmore flagged 21 trillion that was unaudited, all unaccounted for. The official explanation for why that $21 trillion was missing, the response was that it was due to a data entry error and outdated systems. Where this response came after the records were quietly removed. Check this out. In 2017, they find the missing 21 trillion. And after they find this, and it gained attention, the original reports were removed from the government websites, where the excuse was given that they contained sensitive but unclassified information. So that's why they needed to be restricted. Skidmore has it all. He's got it all archived with copies for verification. It sounds pretty interesting if you ask me, especially when we all know what happened with this interview.
Our financial systems are decades old. According to some estimates, we cannot track $2.3 trillion in transactions.
So would any of us be shocked if these underground networks are all connected below our feet at this point? There are missing trillions of dollars all over the place. There's an overwhelming amount of power being used at these sites. Power that doesn't add up for the official narrative that we're given. Everything from elected officials in the UK not being able to access their own sites, all the way to missing money, black rooms, and undersea connections. It's all out there for us to see. This is no longer a coincidence, not at all, especially when we look into the RAND project. And on page 71 of 514, we get diagrams that look a lot like these Five Eyes locations, if you ask me, and it's undeniable. I love to ask this because it's so true. Do you know where you live? Do any of us? Do we all know exactly what's really going on? We continue to ask questions because the more questions we ask, the more answers we will find. And the clearer the picture becomes. Do we know what's really going on below our feet? I believe we have a much better understanding than when we first started. 6,200-foot tunnels under Central California, where it was damaged by the earthquake of 1906. Do we seriously think that all of this was built in the 1800s? During a time of horses and wagons, dirt roads, donkeys incorporated, and no power tools? What would they need thousands of miles of tunnels for? Did Tokyo need this tunnel? Miles of massive stoned arches where there is no reference of this tunnel anymore. The only one is from the Japan Society of Civil Engineers report that was cited in the RAND Corporation study. It is no longer listed in mainstream infrastructure maps of Japan's tunnel systems. No blueprints, no records, and who is the RAND Corporation? To show this is all tied together, RAND, meaning Research and Development, a think tank created at the request of the U.S. Army Air Forces, where its entire purpose was to provide military strategy, weapons, and global policy analysis to the U.S. government, especially to the DoD, described as a shadow brain trust for the CIA, the NSA, the Pentagon, and DARPA. The RAND Corporation isn't just a random group. This tunnel in Japan is there. I do believe we are seeing the picture very clearly at this point. And I'll tell you what, now that we know about the RAND Corporation, we're about to go so much further than ever before.